Hey, welcome to lesson 5. As you can see, the rocks are already placed. I want to mention that in these rocks over here, I've set the subdivision surface at 0, both the subdivision editor and the renderer, and thus they have way less polygons. But it's up to you. I've done it because they are far away, so I didn't want to add much detail to them. How did I do it? Well, click on Subdivision Surface and reduce the number of polygons. But you can also modify other options like the polygon reduction, where you can tweak this parameter. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, I'm going to modify the trees a little bit. So with the edge mode activated, click on loop selection and then scale this part like this to create this kind of shape. Keep doing the same with the other sections of the tree to make the tree. It's like we were opening up what would be the leaves. We could have done it before to pick to keep the same features in all the copies, but anyway, actually it's not a problem since the trees don't have to be perfect and equal. If we make them different, it will give our scene more dynamism. So I'm going to change them and move on to the next step. So the trees are done, and the next step will be making a sort of boat here, a little boat. To do so, create a cube as always and bring it here so that we can work with it easily, and then we're going to make it smaller. We are going to use the cube as a base for our boat. So click on the cube in the list and change the number of segments to 2. It is 2 segments for each axis, 2, 2, and 2. Let's make it wider. Perfect. And a little bit more, I think. That's it. And make it the cube editable. We are going to activate the point mode to create the shape of the boat. So click on Leaf Selection and select these points and also the points of the opposite face. After that, press T to scale. Perfect. Select now the polygons of the inferior face and scale them as well with the T key. Okay, perfect. Let's move it upwards like that. And now the polygons of the superior face. Again, tilt and scale them. Guys, activate again the point mode and select this point here, this one, and the one of the opposite side. Perfect. After select this point and this one, that's it. These polygons were already selected, right? And we are going to extrude them. 1, perfect. First, we are going to do an inner extrusion, something like this, and then a normal extrusion inwards. There it goes. Here we have our boat. We still need to adjust the geometry a little bit. So, select all these points of the middle of the boat which go around it. And while pressing T, make the structure wider. Then select these two together with these two and move the arrow slightly upwards. Perfect. Okay. In case you consider there are not enough edges and you want to add more, you can do it in the following way. Activate the Edge mode and click on Ring Selection in the floating panel. Click on these edges to select them and right-click and select Connect Points Edges. This way we'll introduce another segment. Let's do the same in the other side. Right-click on Connect Points Edges. And that's our new segment. Well, let's select all these points and we are going to do the same we just did. We are going to stretch it outwards pressing T. Although I think it's better to do the other side at the same time so that we get a symmetric result. Guys, remember to press the T key while scaling the boat. And now we need to look for an ideal size for our boat. But first, let's place it on the water surface and also reduce the size. Perfect. Create another cube and scale it. This cube will be a sort of seat for our boat, something quite easy. Let's put it more or less here and make it editable. Again, activate the point mode and select these points which are outside the boat. Then scale it to adjust the seat to the boat. We may need to insert some cut to adjust it properly. For example, I think here we need to add a cut. So select the Edge mode, Ring Selection, and right-click to select Connect Point and insert another segment. Now select the points created after inserting the segments and stretch them until the seat fits in well. That's it. And now we're going to insert another edge here, so activate the mode and select these edges. Right-click and connect points. Great. Guys, and now uncheck this box and click on point mode again. Although we cannot see them, we are selecting them. Press T and extrude. The same here. It still remains these seats corners here, which we are going to hide. Select the points and scale them. Perfect. Guys, let's select now a cylinder, which will be the mast of our boat. Make it smaller and click on the cylinder item of the list in order to reduce the level of segments to 5. After that, scale it and lengthen it. More or less there. Make it editable. Cool. And now we're going to insert a flag for which we are going to use a plane. Let's reduce the number of segments of these two parameters and rotate it. Oops! See what happens? Sometimes the camera gets a bit lost, as happened here. To come back to the previous view, just press S. So, as I said, we are going to rotate the plane. While holding Shift, we are going to rotate it and mark the rotation every 10 grades. We're going to place the flag here at the top of the mast. Guys, as you realize, it's way much easier working from a central axis. It is working with each object separately and add it later onto the scene, since if we place any object before modifying it, it will be much more difficult for us to work with them. So make it editable and select the points of the right to put them closer and generate the shape of a flag. Let's leave it like that for the moment. Remember what we did with the objects before? What we are going to do now is selecting all this element we just created and insert them in an object group. So, once the boat is finished, we can place it here finally. Well, what about adding a pair of oars? Our boat will look great with them. But it's something easy to do. I just inserted a cube and I'm making it smaller. Then we are going to make it editable and we are going to stretch it considerably to generate the oars. Working next to the boat will help us check the adequate dimensions of the oars. Once here, select the superior polygon and do an inner extrusion. Okay, move it outwards a little bit. Okay. And now we are going to make it narrower. Great. And make another extrusion. That's it. Select the two biggest faces of the object and scale them down. Now the polygon at the top and to make it narrower as well. I'm going to insert an edge in the middle, so ring selection and connect points. Why this new edge? Well, it's to make this part wider, like that. I've made it quite simple since half of it won't be visible. It will be under the water, so don't worry too much about it. Okay, keep adjusting. And as I always say, it's just a matter of playing around and adjusting the object until getting an acceptable result. So we don't need to obsess with this since, as I just mentioned, it won't be visible. Let's start placing the oar. Here, more or less. Okay, I think it's too short, so I'm going to make it bigger. Perfect. We're going to take advantage of the symmetry option to duplicate the oar for the other side. So you go to symmetry here and insert the cube inside it. In order for the oar to appear symmetric and well positioned on the other side, the axis set Y must be activated. You can press this button or the key C to make it editable. And the two oars are finished. What we are going to do now is insert them inside the boat item before placing the boat wherever we want it to be. There it goes, perfect. Well, let's change the axis of the flag. So select the Enable Axis option and center the axis. We may need to work with the top view in this case, that's it. After, deselect the Enable Axis option to rotate the flag. Let's put it here and also make it smaller. Just one thing before finishing. We're going to select the cylinder making up the mast and select the polygons of the superior face and then delete them to get rid of the segments. Then go to the bottom menu and select Close Polygon Hole. That's it. So guys, most of the elements are already included. In the next lesson, we'll be adding some details like some animals somewhere or grass and bushes, and also modifying some stuff. So that's all. See you in the next one. Bye!